Hi, beautiful Gemini. Welcome to New Era. My name is Emma. Gemini, this is your monthly reading for the month of June. Cannot believe we're in June already. We're going to see what's going to happen for you. This is a general reading, so anything and everything goes. So take whatever resonates. And we're starting with three initial cards, three initial energies, and then we're just going to go deeper and deeper into those energies. And at the end of this reading, there's going to be a extension to this reading if you resonate with it. You're so welcome there. Gemini, for the month of June. Do you understand that we're halfway through this year? I have no idea where it went. It's just crazy. Okay, yin is the first one, which means you should drink a lot of alcohol. No, you should not. Well, it should, it's up to you. But yin is very much the feminine energy, balance, the feminine energy. It's really about allowing things to fall into place, to not force anything, to not push anything, but to just allow. But it's like, it's not laying on the couch doing nothing. It's really being observant, I would say in Swedish, like observant. Observant, can you say that? Like really be, like just really pay attention is what it feels like. Pay attention, put your ear to the ground, listen. First card out. Second and third, please, for Gemini for the month of June. Thank you very much. Month of June. Ooh. And clean it up. I'm always going for the joke. I'm not going to go for the joke. Because it said so. You know what I mean. So clean it up. This is my vibration card, and it's silly to say every time that this is my vibration card because every card is a vibration card, obviously. But this is cleaning up the vibration. Like this is when you're raising the vibration, you're climbing higher and higher. You're ascending. You're coming. Basically, if we turn that into plain English or plain Swedish, that would be discovering your full potential. Like more and more, just discovering who you are. Discover. Right? Discover is a discovering. So you're just letting go of whatever sort of has bogged you down to make you smaller than you really authentically are, basically. And the third card out is so 2 and 21 there, so double 2. So there's a lot of balance here. Finding balance, wanting to find balance, found balance. Third card. Community. Couple of things coming through there. So this community card, I just like, it's just so adorable. This little meeting with like the older one and the younger one, like the teacher and the student, the parent and the child. It's also like okay, sorry, one thing at a time. I see this. Obviously, these are two giraffes, a bigger like mama or papa giraffe. Can we just please focus? Anyway, you see that. And it's like the bigger one, which could be you, like in one perspective, the bigger one can be you. And that's like very much outgrowing your situation. That could be like you've outgrown a relationship, this is the community card. So it could be also the job situation that you're in, you're outgrown the community, like in this job situation. It could be something that you've done for years and years and years. You just continue to do it because you've done it before and you've outgrown that situation. It's time to move on to something else. And from another perspective, it's like you're the child, like you're the student, you're the upcoming little mini guy or mini girl there. Which is like looking to the bigger one, like almost wanting to inspire the bigger one to say like, come out and play, like be curious about something new. You don't have to stay in there. Like you don't have to stick around in whatever doesn't suit you anymore. So it's almost like you're coming from both. It's like Gemini is both, which you are, you're the twin sign, but like it's like you're giving yourself a double perspective on something here. Very interesting with the number 8 there, which is power and strength. And it's the, this is a symbol of the lion. So it's a lot about like being courageous and just I guess, claiming who you truly are, not putting yourself down. That comes through very clearly. Like, don't belittle yourself. Don't make yourself smaller than you truly really are. So if we're starting with this yin card, we're just going to clarify that. So going deeper into this yin card, why is that here for Gemini, please, for the month of June? The yin card. I think that was it. Wow. This situation doesn't serve you. Release your attachment to the outcome and consider taking a more uplifting approach. Okay, so together with this, the yin card is very much like... Five of Michael is usually when you're trying to sweep something under the rug, or if there's something like you haven't really said or expressed, or like you just think that just being quiet about it is just going to make it go away. And I mean, vibrationally, it would. If you wouldn't think about this thing, whatever it is, if you wouldn't think about this thing, I don't feel like this is the major message of this entire reading here today. This almost feels like a little bit of a side note or like a sideline for someone. So take whatever resonates here, Gemini. There's something like that's on your heart. And if you don't express it, it feels like you think that, okay, it's just going to go away. If I just don't talk about it, it's just going to go away. And that's true vibrationally if you really wouldn't think, like if you really were quiet about it and didn't talk about it and didn't activate that vibration and really would like just move on, that vibration would eventually just sort of peter out and just not be affecting your life. But just because you're quiet doesn't mean that you're not talking. Does that make sense? Your vibration is still very active, even though you're not using words or sound, you know? So just because we don't talk about it doesn't mean that it's not active. It's still there and it's still sort of affecting your life somehow. And 5 is like overcoming obstacles, overcoming hurdles. This is a great opportunity for change here. So there's something like, let it just come up to the surface. Let it simmer and let it come up to the surface. And maybe don't try to force it in any direction, but sort of don't be afraid to let it like just come up to get some air. Excuse me, does that make sense? And so with the yin right next to it, and this is the clarifier of the yin card. It's over here. Like I said, this is about not pushing anything. It's not about pushing. It's true allowing. It's being acutely aware, observant, and just follow the yin is like the feminine energy, the yin and the yang, right? And we're finding balance here. We're going with the flow, and we're going where there's the least amount of resistance. I'm gonna just get one more clarifier for this 5 of Michael. Clarifier for 5 of Michael. The Authority card. So this is very much about like staying in your lane. Very interesting energy here. And we're taking up a lot of time for something that might just be a side note, but it's a really important thing for someone. I don't know whose energy I'm picking up on here, but it's like it's really important for someone. Okay, so just there's something here. You're going through something. You're feeling some sort of emotion. You're feeling something, and you've decided it's better to just not talk about it. Or someone even has told you, like, don't talk about it. Like, you just don't have to, like, we don't need your input on this, or we don't need your expertise on this. Like, you don't have to say everything you think about. It could also, like, feel which one it is. Like, feel whether it's, you feel like you shouldn't talk about it, but do you feel like you shouldn't talk about it? Or, like, let it come to the surface, let it breathe. because someone else has told you to shut it down a little bit. Because that's also like making yourself smaller. Like we had at the end here, there's something that makes you feel like you're actually smaller than you are. The authority card is about like claiming your space, claiming your position. Like just don't let anyone like feel when it's time to really speak your truth, and feel when it's time to be quiet. You don't have to force anything upon anyone, but you're also not forced to be quiet if you don't want to be. So it's interesting then, because then the yin card is like laying like underneath it all and saying like, just listen to when you feel it. You feel it, Gemini. In whatever situation, you know when to speak and you know when to be quiet. And it's not because then it's a decision on your part. Then it's like it's a decision for you to decide that you're going to be quiet about it. Then it's like your inner being is there to say, like, hey, shh, don't go there, because they're not going to receive it anyway. They don't understand it anyway. Let's see how that ties into the rest of it, because here is like, it's almost like we're leaving a situation behind and you're climbing up the ladder vibrationally. This is very much about like cleaning up your vibration, cleaning out the resistance, letting go sort of what doesn't serve you anymore, and just climbing up the ladder. And the minute you feel like you're just sort of coming into that glimpse of just a higher, just feeling a little bit more eager about life, more happy and like, I don't know, enthusiastic for your future, like a little bit higher vibration, you will immediately feel this shift in your body, and immediately you will feel like whatever you were letting into your life before was based on a little bit of a lower vibration. And the minute you just sort of raise a little bit, it doesn't have to be like a quantum jump, just a little bit of a raising of the vibration, you're going to immediately see some sort of response from the outer world. Does that make sense? So why is it clean it up here for Gemini? And perhaps how that ties into the first message. Or if it does at all. Can we just clean it up? Can we just clarify the vibration card, please? And lucky number 21. I mean, 21 is a very like fortunate number. It's a number you want to have like on your side. It's like when synchronistic events just keep showing up, signs, and it just puts you on the right path. But 21 is also like the world card. The world card always has the number 21, which is like we're completing something. We're ending a cycle. A complete cycle is shutting down. Something you've done up until this point, like done. And now a new beautiful cycle begins. Yeah, memories of love is showing up for we're dealing with someone or something from the past. We're dealing with someone or something from the past. I don't know if someone has entered your life and either they're reminding you of the past, or I know it's so freaking broad to say, it's a little bit silly to say even, because it's like, yeah, okay. It reminds you a little bit of the past, or it can remind you of the future. It's even like, can I even say that? It reminds you of the future? Apparently I can, and I just did. But like, there's something here. I don't easily sort of I can't, and the energy gets going and I get really warm. There's something here that wants to just be cleared out. Are you going back into an energy over and over, and it sort of just never clears out? Is there a clear cut or clean cut? A little bit more here about this vibration and memories of love. Wow. So we have the Lovers. So sometimes it's just to clarify for me that I got the right card. Like we have 6 clarifying 6 there. the Lovers. So yes, it's clarifying, it's sort of validating. Yes, it is a love that we're thinking about, but it's also a choice. The Lovers card is also a choice. Coming out with number 14, which is a solution card, and it's a new beginning for the heart, a new beginning for your heart. And we now have, because we have the, I was going to say, authority card has number 4, so it's a heart matter, and you're laying a new foundation for yourself. Together with this 4 of Raphael, the 4 there, I just got really, really dizzy. Usually when there's like a new world view or new energy entering your life, it can be a little bit overwhelming. It can be almost like to the point where you sort of want to, not retrieve, because that is like golden retriever. They go to catch things. So it's like retreat. You just pull back a little bit because it gets to be a little bit overwhelming. Okay, it feels like I have like 5 storylines going at the same time, and no wonder it's Gemini reading. So just do your best to follow my thread here. We have solutions to this. There are solutions, and under solutions we say success that comes from objective compromise, self-control and patience, forgiving and healing energy. We're sucked back into some sort of, is there a relationship or a job situation or an old belief or like a pattern of yours, Gemini? Just hand on your heart. Like what is the truth here? Is there an old pattern of yours that you keep sort of going back to? Are we glamorizing it a little, like romanticizing it a little bit? Like when we think about the past, this past lover or this past job, like how it was in the past, do you think about it as like, oh, it was so good, and you're almost, I don't know if you're tricked in there, because no one would trick you, Gemini. You're not the easiest person to trick, so that's not what I'm saying. It's just, it feels like sometimes you just sort of settle into the old energy, and the focus is on settle. You sort of go back there a little bit. You're being reminded of how it was in the past. And at the same time, you're trying to break free. You're trying to break out of this old pattern, this old belief system, the old version of you, this old relationship, this old job, whatever that was for you. It doesn't have to be as big as like trying to break away from a person. It can even be like trying to break away from wanting to get on a new health regime. And so you try to you're trying to stay healthy, and you're well on your way, and then you're being sort of sucked back into the dominant version of you, what you sort of lived up until this point for such a long time. Here is seek out other possibilities. So this is like the, you have again here, this situation doesn't serve you. Release your attachment to the outcome. Consider taking a more uplifting approach with this 5 of Michael. And Michael is all about action forward. Like, let's go forward now. Seek out other possibilities. Look for the magic in life. Be aware of your own emotions. So seek out other possibilities. So there's something, you're releasing something. You're letting go of something or someone. And it's like a little bit of a back and forth energy there, I feel. Sometimes you feel like, oh, it should have just stayed the way that it was. Or like you're just settling for it. It would be okay if it was the way it was. But there's everything here is saying, no, it wouldn't. No, it wouldn't. No, it wouldn't. And there's the solution here. Like, you have a choice to move forward, and there's going to be solutions here. Solutions are going to come your way. You're going to figure it out, how to let it go and how to sort of cut the cord. And there's a new beginning for the heart. 14 is all about the new beginning for your heart, and you're raising the vibration, and you already are seeing like coming out of that a little bit lower vibrational place and climbing a little bit higher. You already have proof or like evidence of what would come in the future. Remembering your future. So maybe you have been like even thinking about like where you would go instead. Because then we have the community card, and this is like you've outgrown a situation. You've outgrown a situation. The community that you're in, you're too, either you're too happy and too positive and too, how can we be too positive and too happy? But I mean, for the community that you're in. You know, if you've been with a certain group of friends, I mean, I remember if I go back, like all the way back to like high school, our version of high school, maybe not high school, maybe that's a little bit later, but like to the at the end of primary school. I mean, I was with a group of friends because that's the way we grew up. You know, you went to school with the friends that lived in your area, and so you weren't like put together because of the law of attraction. You were put together because you lived in the community. And then at some point it was like, maybe I don't fit with these people too much anymore. And so you outgrow those people. It doesn't necessarily have to be bad people. You just outgrown the situation. Or this is like in adult life, there's some sort of, if there's a relationship, you've outgrown the relationship. There's the information that was supposed to be shared between two people has been shared. That has come to an end, and maybe you're sticking around a little bit too long in it. Or a job situation, a company, you're stayed at a company where it's okay to be there, but there's something about it that just brings you back to your old version. Does that make sense? It holds you. So like you go home from your job, and then you become more of Gemini. Like you start to recognize Gemini, and then you go back to work the next day, and then it's like everything that reminds you of who you were. There's something there that triggers, like it's something in the walls, or like there's something in the, I don't know, something in the water that just reminds you, or you're sticking around in something that just doesn't, you've outgrown the situation. It's like you're trying to even talk to yourself from different perspectives. It's like so I think that you're even aware of it. This is not a blind spot for you. You probably are quite aware of this situation. And maybe you're just trying to really get out, like you're trying the best you can to make this shift. And even like from a very, like the inner child of yours is like the curiosity, the playfulness, the child is trying to like, hey, let's go about it in a different way. Like, let's maybe not be so serious about this, or let's not be so, there's a better approach to this. And there's solutions coming in. There's solutions coming your way, but put your ear to the ground, listen, pay attention. We have this 4 of Raphael, this is very much when we've withdrawn. I feel like this is more in the past. We've withdrawn our emotions. Like you don't feel your emotional body anymore. You don't want to, like, you're not really attached to your body anymore. And we have all these seashells, which is like very much like you're into it. Like pay attention with those dragonflies, which is huge spiritual transformation. I'm going to take this into the extension and see what else I can find there for you. Go deeper into this, like a little bit of a mystery here, but it seems like we're trying to get away from an old version of ourselves. And that old version you could have put into, like, it could be, the extension of that could be like this relationship, this job, this community, this, I even see like a house, maybe going back to like a house that just keeps reminding you of who you were. And it's a little bit tough. Of course you can change yourself in whatever circumstance, but there's easier ways to change. Like we don't have to change under the really worst circumstances, right? We can just really remove ourselves from the very thing that just holds us back and move forward. We're going to look into it and see what else Spirit wants to give to you here in the extension. If you're interested, if you feel like this is your reading, you're so welcome there. We have 2 ways of getting there in the description box. Go check it out and see whatever fits you better. If not, thank you so much, Gemini, for coming here, taking time out of your day to check these readings out. I really appreciate it. And if you resonate with these readings and like what you see, please subscribe and like. It really helps me and helps the channel. Thank you so much, guys.